Is my volume too high or too low? How are you guys feeling? I had to reconfigure everything, so it might be a little bit weird. Guys. 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 Stop. You're not paying attention. That's so mean. Fine, I'm gonna let you win words. I see how it is. I am so not important right now. I get it. I get it. I'll just wait very patiently. Very patiently until you guys pay attention. I see how it is. Well, that's what I was asking. Is it too high or is it too low? What volume do you guys want for the ASMR? Okay, that's enough words. How dare you? How dare you ignore me? Banana. Beautiful. Hello. Hello, everybody. Long time no ASMR. Also, just chill. I'm so sorry, but sound alerts are disabled for ASMR streams. You know, to keep everything chill and nice. Can any of the mods, please refund, just chill? I know what you are trying to do, but you have been stopped, thankfully. I think I'm going to remove the overlay for today. But why are you stripping me? That's so mean. That's so evil and mean and fucked up. What the hell? But how is the volume and everything for you guys? Is everything okay? Is everything good? Since I had to reconfigure everything, that means that it might be a little bit weird. No, that's so mean. That's so evil and fucked up. Why are you guys so mean to me? I'm trying to help you relax and be happy, and you do this. How dare you? But also, hi. Why is nobody answering my questions? I need to know. I need to know. Water. Yeah, today we're doing ASMR with ducks, which was what I was going to attempt. Like 3 times in a row, but my mic didn't wanna reciprocate. Yeah, today we are doing ASMR with ducks. For those who are new here, I do ASMR streams sometimes, but it all depends on the day. Usually I had decided that I would do at least one a month, but I have been really unlucky recently. First, I had a leak in my bedroom, like an actual water leak. Some rainwater was coming into my window, and then my mic decided not to work because I accidentally left it on, and the 9V battery that is inside didn't work. But yeah, we're now back with some ASMR, and I think that Sherry actually gave me a suggestion for for ASMR. What is this? Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta look in. He gave me like a full-on script. Own a musket for home defense. As in, that's what the founding fathers intended. 4 ruffians break into my house. What the devil? As I grasped my powdered wig and Kentucky rifle. Block off bull-sized hole through the first man. He's dead on the spot. Draw my pistol on the second man. Miss him entirely because it's smoothbore and nails the neighbor's dog. I have to resort to the cannon mounted at the top of the stairs, loaded with a grape shot. Tally-ho, lads! The grape shot shreds 2 men in a blast. The sound and extra shrapnel set off car alarms. Vex bayonet and charge the last terrified rapscallion. He bleeds out waiting on the police to arrive, since triangular bayonet wounds are impossible to stitch up, just as the founding fathers intended. Wow. That is a very interesting story. I'm still in a silent mode from another stream. Blame them for talking about BL, but BL is awesome. Why would I blame them for doing that? That's so cool. Do you guys not like BL?
Okay. What?
I'm sorry. My dad has the very, very bad habit of not knocking ever. Now look, today we've got some ducks that are accompanying us in this lovely, lovely evening. Let me, make the graphics not that high, because I think that it's sort of making it a little bit laggy. But yeah, we've got so many ducks here. All of them unique, I think. And in fact, well, I have my Snow Miku message pinned today, but, do you guys know that if you stop, you could name a duck, any of the ducks here. One sub for one duck. I think that's a very good, trade-off, I think. Wait, is this duck named? Oh shit, duck. What is your name, duck? Blanket Ghost! It's me! Guys, look, it's me. Jingle, jingle, pay attention, jingle, jingle. That is actually a redeem. If you want me to key you, I can key you. Also, please let me know if it's too high or too low, just in case. Damn, these ears are dirty. They've got like some sort of like black residue. Excuse me while I clean your ears, guys. Talk about Frida for a minute. Well, that's just my regular streams already, isn't it? But, let's see. Well, when Frida was a baby, she was actually a very ugly kitten. Very, very ugly. Which is really funny because usually, she is very pretty. She is the prettiest girl in the ball, the prettiest girl in all of the party. And, even though, she actually... Oh god, I got hiccups. That's bad. And even though She started out as a very, very ugly baby. She had this sort of like ugly old man. Ugly old man appeal is what I call it. And you know, she ended up growing up really pretty. Every time we go to the bed, they are like, wow, Frida's so pretty. How do you manage to keep her so pretty? She is the prettiest girl at the ball. And I'm like, yeah, I know. She is gorgeous. She is the gorgeousest kitten in the whole entire world. And not only that, but even though she is like very low maintenance, she somehow has managed to keep a very nice coat. Even though she hates having her hair combed through, she doesn't like being brushed. She doesn't like the what's it called, the shading brush either. She actually hates the regular brush more than the shading brush. She likes eating her hair, and she hates baths with a passion, even though like she sometimes can stink. She still has got to be one of the prettiest cats ever, which is really funny to me. Why did the lights go off? Why did the lights go off? What the hell? Dogs? Oh, it's because it's sunrise. The sun is rising. Oh, oh. Wait, I can like click there? Boing. Gorgeous. Isn't this such a gorgeous view? I want to see this duck. It's shiny. Oh, it's an AI duck. Look at that little guy. Another fun fact is that ASMR streams are Frida's least favorite streams. She hates ASMR because she thinks everything is a toy, and I'm not letting her play with any of the stuff that I have. Of course, Dave. Thank you so much. But yeah, Frida hates ASMR because she wants to play with all of the things that I take out. Unfortunately for Frida, ASMR ASMR stuff is not very apt for cats. She specifically likes the brushes actually, because she likes licking them, she likes biting them for some reason. I don't know if you guys can hear the difference between regular brushes or wait, I think that we got our first duckling. The regular brushes or makeup brushes. Oh shoot. Rita ASMR sounds like money. I'll have to ask her her rates. But yes, she... What? Ah! Oh god, I dropped something. Oh. You guys are not hearing anything, okay? This is totally normal. No, my wisps! Why must the wisps fight? This is so sad. You guys are so mean to my wisps and I don't know why. Hello, Jack. How you doing? Today we are doing a very supposedly chill ASMR. Never mind the wisp murder in the background. Okay, I think that the adjustment of the settings does help with the lag a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do something with the overlay so that you're able to see the ducks in their full glory. Okay, first I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna change this overlay to this one. Oh god. Okay, it worked. Yippee! You're just chilling? I'm glad that you're just chilling. How was your day? How has your day been? Honestly, I don't know if I'm very good at ASMR. I just do whatever. There aren't really any scripts or anything of the sort. I just do what feels right, what sounds right to me. Especially because I didn't actually, enjoy ASMR until recently. I just didn't like the wet types of ASMR, mostly. You know? The ones that, have like the chewing noises and stuff. That I didn't like. Like this. I was good, finished a budget assignment for my. Ooh! I was really glad that they actually allowed us to do like a financing class in college, and it was mandatory for us. You see, I think that when you speak about artists, you often don't know a lot about financing your own stuff. But in my school, they really focus on that. Humming noises? I guess humming would be soothing. I don't know. Humming is really nice. I think that when you have like a very nice deep voice, everybody has got their own tastes for ASMR. Turtle soup. Give me a second. Oh, where did I leave that? There we go. By the way, Sherry, please check out the list. I have no idea what turtle soup is, so I'm just gonna do like regular, like bean soup stuff. Beet soup. What am I cooking? One thing that I wanna get is the frog. Or is that a trigger word? Do you want me to say turtle soup? Turtle soup. Oh god, Frida. Frida, the brush! Frida really likes the brushes. I hope that the music is okay for you guys. I really like, Animal Crossing music. It's very soothing to me. Okay, let's see what Turtle Soup ASMR is. Yes, it is what I thought it was. Okay, yeah, it is the beet soup thing. Good. That is actually one of my favorite types of ASMR. Frida ASMR. Frida, do you wanna do some ASMR yourself? Here, get in my lap. Oh gosh. What did she drop? Your nails are so long. She dug her nails onto my lap. I'm dying. It is really funny though, because actually Frida has very soft, very nice and sweet meowing. She's a very talkative cat. I know that you guys only hear when she's like yowling for attention, But during the day, she can give this very sweet, very soft meowing sounds that are really nice. I really enjoy it. By the way, what do you guys think about paper ASMR? That's one of my favorites, actually. I usually try to only use used up paper. So you know, paper that I have already drawn all over or had notes on. I actually really like doing analog note taking. It is one of my favorite things to do. I think that it actually holds my memory way more than regular note taking on like a phone or something. And right now, since I am learning Japanese, I do think that I should try and practice my calligraphy more. Especially since I usually use mechanical pencils, so a lot of pressure has to be. A lot of pressure points don't really look that much. I would love to do like a writing ASMR. Like this. Just scribbling on a piece of paper. And you know, here's the thing. The thing is that depending on the type of pencil that you're using, it's going to sound softer, you know? Because this is I believe this is a 3B. Yeah, a 3B pencil. And you've got a 3B pencil. That means that you have a ton of graphite on it. There's two types of ingredients that go into a pencil. One of them is the graphite, which gives it the color, which gives it the intensity. And the other one is sort of like a type of wax. And the waxy layer is usually the one that gives sort of like the sound. So let me see. Of course, there's also chalk papers, and chalk papers are going to sound way rougher, like this. I gotta be careful with these ones though. I don't wanna stain my pad, my mouse pad. Oh my gosh, a shiny duck! That one's so pretty. I'm gonna do the rules for the ASMR awards. So give me a second. Do you guys like typing ASMR? I like typing ASMR. I don't know if you guys can hear exactly my typing on the computer, but I also use my numpad for ASMR. I just deactivate it, I turn it off, so that you guys are able to hear it as well. Equals. Duck, 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 duck. Alright, because Lucifer, the character, is obsessed with ducks, right? That is really funny. I wonder why exactly they gave him that character quirk. I'm not very familiar with Hazbin Hotel, since I don't really vibe with the style of narrative. Of course, Chevy. Don't worry about it. I know that ASMR isn't for everyone. Please take care of yourself. But thank you so much for checking in. By the way, is the music too loud or too low? That is something that I haven't checked. Frida right now is contributing to the ASMR by scratching her scratching pool. I always forget that since my keyboard is in Spanish, that also means that my emote lookup is also in Spanish. So instead of doing duck, I have to look up pato. Pato. You know, it's not the soundtrack that I dislike. I think that it's like sort of like the how little the story makes sense. If I'm being honest, because I understand a hotel for rehabilitating sinners, right? Like that is something that I understand very well. But you see, there is something in Christianism or in Catholicism that is called purgatory. And that is sort of like a has-been hotel. Like you are working on rehabilitating each one of your sins and becoming virtuous so that you eventually reach heaven. I thought when Has-Been Hotel first started that it would sort of like tell the story of how purgatory was created. Because, so maybe it's like Bsky Pop's own take on what purgatory would be like in her universe. But apparently Has-Been Hotel has like different rules, and it does disregard some elements of Christianism, which I mean I don't mind it. You sort of with a religion and like a cosmology as big as Christianism, you sort of can take the liberty with that, but I don't think it makes a lot of sense. Like it ends up becoming contradictory a lot of the times, which is something that can work for some world building, and not for all world building, you know. Hell of a Boss is better. That I can agree, but I do think that Hell of a Boss is better in my opinion. Not because of like the story is like a different genre, because I do enjoy musicals. For example, The Good Place is one of my favorite series of all time, and that has the same premise. But because I really, really love Brandon Rogers' way of narrating things, he is a very good like storyteller. I'm sorry, a storyteller in my opinion. So, I really enjoyed season 1 of Hell of a Boss. Season 2, I dropped it because unfortunately, I don't think that they understood how some things would look like to people in terms of like optics and stuff, and it unfortunately ended up having a problem of wolvifying their characters and villainizing other characters for the same things. It just didn't have a very balanced storytelling, in my opinion, which can be hard because, of course, both of the shows handle an ensemble cast, but I really didn't enjoy the wolvification of Stola specifically. I think it would have been really nice if they had tackled the class differences between Stolas and Blitzo, and how that could really affect how their relationship develops, especially since Blitzo still thinks that their relationship is coerced. Like it is a form of a deal rather than an actual romance. But unfortunately, it wasn't really touched upon as much as I would have liked. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's Frida playing with the beads. Frida! She really likes the beads. I think that is her most favorite thing in all of the things that I've got. It can be a little bit troublesome though, because, well, those bees are for ASMR, Frida. Another thing she really likes is the candy wrappers. Usually I let her play with the candy wrappers when I eat something, but again, as I said, I like keeping my stuff as little waste as possible. So usually I save up a couple of wrappers and a couple of bags that are crinkly for you guys. And Frida doesn't like that because they're her crackers. They're her crackly stuff. What I know is if the Sings will bring Box to court for what he did. I don't know what Box did. I think that as far as I know from like the spoilers that I have seen, he tried to take over Hell, right? So here's the deal. The deal about like the cosmology of Hell and that why it's so difficult to adapt it completely is that there are different kinds of demons and there are different kinds of like types of demons. Some demons are enforcers. They're the ones who basically punish the sinners. While some demons actually induce mortal souls into committing a sin. They're like influence people. And here's the deal. If I were the sin, for example, of pride, because I'm pretty sure that Box would qualify the most for like being prideful, I would not punish him. He is being prideful. He is basically keeping me in power because the demons that feed off of sin, they actually gain a positive, if a mortal soul is indulging in those sins, is consumed by those sins. So, the problem, in my opinion, with Hazbin Hotel is that it sort of made it so that the sins are the rulers or different circles of hell. But in that case, they would actually not be punishing the sinners. Like, they wouldn't feel the need to punish the sinners because the sinners indulging in all of that cruelty that they inflict upon each other would make them stronger. I think this is why in Dante's Inferno, I know that the sinners can't leave the Pride Ring, which is really weird in my opinion. The thing is that when you make a demon that gains power through sin be the ruler of an area that has sinners, or rule over an area that has sinners, it means that they're not like incentivized to do anything to punish those sinners for what they did. So the problem with Hazbin Hotel is that, and yes, Ethan, I understand, but I have seen Hell of a Boss, so the cosmology is at least familiar to me. But Bsky Pop, by building off of Christianism and Catholicism, while still adding her own headcanons, didn't really like actually create a coherent universe. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And now the narratives is suffering from it. Because I'm gonna be honest, if I were the mortal sins after what Box did, I would not give a shit. Actually, I would reward him for doing what he did. Because again, Lucifer's sin was trying to take over heaven as well. Of course, there's different interpretations, but his main sin was not only rejecting God, but also trying to create his own heaven with his own dissident angels. So what Box did is technically what Lucifer did. And that is the reason why in Dante's Inferno, for example, Lucifer is actually being punished in the 10th circle. I know that Blitzo got taken to court, but again, it doesn't really make sense. If you're gonna have a legal system within hell, you're gonna have to have a different category of demons that are in forces. So, if you have read Dante's Inferno, there's actually different souls of not sinners, but different types of like fallen angels that were sent specifically to judge sinners. And purgatory is actually ruled by angels. They're the ones that are in charge of rehabilitating sinners, all in all. I still don't understand very well why Blitzo got taken to court. I believe it was because of an assassination attempt that he got framed for. But again, it's all very muddy, and I think that it's very silly that demons can be killed. But that's just my opinion. I think that it's because I treat demons more as like demons and angels and all that kind of stuff as more like concepts rather than living beings. Oh god, Frida laid herself on a very inconvenient place on the desk. Frida, baby girl? Do you mind getting off the desk? Do you mind it? So, I am not very aware, but I do think that Bsky Pop would have really benefited if she distanced herself. If she distanced herself from trying to make hell an actual like Judeo-Christian setting. She could definitely be inspired. But it can be difficult when you're like using characters from the Bible to do that sort of like suspension of disbelief, in my opinion. I have seen some people say ear cupping. I don't know what ear cupping means. As you can see, I'm just barely stuff around for ASMR. I mean, super hell could be a thing. You know how, in Dante's Inferno, if you have read it, which by the way, I do not recommend Dante's Inferno, is like a slog of like so many convoluted stuff. It is a very boring book. But either way, Dante's Inferno did explain that circles can be within circles. It is it is not just like like the 9 circles of hell, 7 circles of hell, but there's also a ninth circle. Each one made sometimes especially as like their own personal punishment. So for example, Lucifer, Satan, I know that they're different, but Lucifer is actually in the bottomless pit of hell, and he has been frozen. That's his punishment. I don't know if you know, but Lucifer actually meant like the bright one or the shining one. And so his punishment, being the embodiment of light, is that uh, he is at the deepest, darkest pit of hell, and his body is completely frozen up to his chest. And all he can do is chew endlessly. Yeah, Judas Iscariot isn't on the 9th circle of hell. One of Lucifer's heads is chewing on Judas endlessly. It is actually chewing 3 people. Judas, one of the Roman soldiers that impaled Jesus, actually the one that impaled like his chest area, because that actually made his death way more painful. And an irrelevant guy that Dante thought was super mean and super evil. Wait, no. I think that it was actually one of a Greek guy, because Dante doesn't like Greek people, guys. But yeah, that was the punishment of it. But you know, the 9th circle of hell is sort of 2 circles. You know, it's very weird. But yeah, because it actually, the 9th circle has like 4 circles. And then you've got the center of hell, in which he is eating. Let me see. He is eating. Oh my god, that is. Okay, so basically, apparently. Okay, so it's not Lucifer that's in there, it's Satan. Sorry. I misinformed you guys. Wait, who are you? Who are you? You're a cool little duck. Who are you? You're a cool duck. Okay, so Satan has 3 faces. One is black, one is white, one is Asian, because those are the 3 races ever. No more races. Longinus, the Roman with the Spear of Destiny. Thank you. So, Satan has 3 faces. The race of Ham, which is African and black people. Then you've got a yellow face. Oh my gosh, that's how you know that this is old. That is the race of Shem. And red for the Europeans. The race of Japheth. Japheth, which is like for white people. And now, in the central, let's see. Each face has a mouth that chews eternally on a prominent traitor. Marcus Junius Brutus. Oh, okay, Brutus, the one that killed Julius Caesar. Brutus. Then Longinus, which is the one that speared. Yeah, which is the one that speared Jesus. Thank you for the kisses. And in the central mouth is Judas, being chewed for eternity. So they're not being fully eaten, they're just being chewed. Being turned into a very gross mush, I assume. This is probably also a punishment for Satan. It must be tasting foul, knowing the fact that he cannot swallow. What's wrong, Frida? Again, Frida's very sad that I'm not letting her play with my ASMR stuff. Yes. Technically, Hell has 9 circles, but it has a sequent 10th circle. That's the bonus round, and that's considered like the center of Hell. So it isn't technically a circle, but it also is technically a circle. Frida, you cannot sit on the desk, baby girl. That's bad. I know that you want to sit on the desk, but you can't. I know. Guys, Frida really wants to sit on the desk. What do I do? Guys, what do I do? She's looking at me pitifully from her little bed. How dare I take away her bed? Her little desk. Let her sit until she causes trouble. She's taking like half of the desk trouble. I have heard some songs that are really nice. But some other songs that are really bad. Then again, it's all about a matter of tastes. I don't know about you guys, but I have not seen a depiction of hell that I can actually like completely sign off on. It's just something that, I don't know, feels so specific to me that I'm not able to like put it into words. I mean, at the end of the day, it all depends on what you believe in, right? I have not heard that song, Ethan, I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys can actually hear me ear cleaning. Wait, did it start snowing? Oh my god. It started snowing, guys. Oh, I see. You know what I want to get? Duck! The mission, what duck do you want? Give me a second. Since Frida was on the table, I had to move a ton of stuff. So my mouse is now, buried. Okay. Thank you so much for the 100 videos. I really appreciate it. Let's see. What duck do you want the mission? We've got so many ducks. We've got these ones. We've got the egg duck. We've got this duck. We've got tomato frog. Got bowling ball duck. Tennis ball duck. We've got shooting duck, but that one shot away. That one explodes. We've got joust duck. Cat duck. Star duck. Stamp duck. Crossword duck. Jelly duck. Golden duck. Sort of like semi-translucent duck. Very pearlescent. We've got sushi duck. Ladybug duck. Hot duck. White duck. My name is duck. Peacock duck. And special ducks, which is the PC duck and this neon duck. Which one do you want? Golden duck. Okay. Golden duck. There you go. Now, once the golden duck appears, it should be named. I don't know why it started snowing, but it's so pretty. I am wondering how people discovered ASMR though. Like, I know that it is an instinctual reaction, but I wonder why specific sounds are so special to us. That we feel so enthralled by them. I wonder, do you guys feel the difference when I use the squishy to cover one ear, like this? Can you guys hear the difference? I do know that when I cover an ear with fabric, it does feel like a difference. I know that I could monitor my audio so that I can hear it, but you see, here's the deal. When I monitor my audio, I do not speak much because I get really distracted. I try to wait for my voice to catch up to the other. Why does it say 0? So true, Ethan. This is why you should join the cult of Frida. We provide freedom. And cats. And ducks. I think that it is very interesting that a lot of VTubers have so much stuff, yet they all feel a little bit different somehow. You know, each and every one of them has like their own niche. But at the end of the day, of course, personalities are different. As an entertainer, you may fall on some of like the same niches, but you know, it's also about entertaining others, I think. And that is so nice. Aw, my nails aren't long enough to do like a little... But at least I can, use... I can at least scratch. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry! Something fell. No! That's a line from the Sombrero edited just for you. Oh, thank you. I wanna see something. There is a dog that is just like on the floor for some reason. Other dog, why are you on the floor? Why are you on the floor, dog? I don't know if you guys can hear, but the dogs can actually quack. But some other dogs do not do quack sounds, actually. But yeah, I don't know why that dog is specifically left alone. I can also sort of like zoom into other dogs to see what they're doing. I specifically like the dog that is on the floor because it's made of stone. Oh wait, I see the mini dog, the duckling. There you are! Look at it! It's a little guy! Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I also don't know when the quartz came in. Oh my gosh, wait. Hello? Oh my gosh. Why the fuck are you here? Why is there like an AMD Ryzen duck? We found a row of ducklings. The AMD Ryzen duck is really funny. Oh, this is a sponge. Now that I see it up close, I can see it. I don't know if I can change the speed of which ducks spawn, but I think I can't. At least not that I know of. How many get sold boxes songs? I see. Also guys, that break will start in 50 seconds. Feel free to grab a snack, grab a drink, go to the bathroom, do whatever you might need. I'll be there. Don't worry about me. In the meantime, I'll be cleaning your ears. It's so funny that Coney had forgotten to check on his drunk bod, and when he finally checked on it, he finally realized why all of us were so worried about him. I quite literally was going to stay up until Crony answered my message. Also, apparently I forgot it wasn't an outbreak announcement, it was the actual outbreak. Welcome back from outbreak, everybody. Jingle jingle. Jingle jingle. But yeah, it was so bad. I don't think that you guys like understand, but since Crony has heart problems and he's home alone, and he wasn't answering messages, all of us were like, oh my god, Crony's dead. I'm sorry guys, we're gonna see a VTuber funeral because Crony had like a heart failure or something, or maybe he fell down and had a concussion, because there was a time in which Crony actually had fainting spells. And as such, we were so worried that maybe he would have like fainted somewhere, and then he would have puked, and then he would have choked on his own puke, because that is actually something that happens. That is one of the most common reasons for like drunk deaths. So we were so worried something might have happened to him all those times. And he just comes in the other next day, and he's like, why are you guys so dramatic? I'm fine. I just was very busy doing like chores and stuff. All the while, all of us were worried sick. I didn't stay up all night waiting for Chrome to reply to me because it was getting really late. But I did ask Salu, and I did ask Freak to please tell me when Corny replied, or to please check in on him. The thing about Salu is that he lives in PSD, so he lives like a little bit like 3 hours earlier than me. So my 3 a.m. is his midnight, so he would have been able to actually check in more. And of course, Freak lives on, I believe, the same time zone, or at least very similar. And as such, he would have been able to check in on him when he woke up. Who's helping you run the Minecraft bootcamp? Well, we've got a couple of people. Freak. Donna, which is the server owner actually, they're the server, operator. And, that's basically it. Like, the main 3 moderators are me, Donna, and Freak. But I was the main organizer. I was the one that asked people and took charge of stuff. But we did have many meetings to make sure that all of the things that we were able to do would actually be on everybody's time frame, you see? Because we have people from many different countries, so many different time zones. And that means we have to cater to everyone to make sure that that all of the people that are joining are actually able to come in. I also told them that they could join in on their own times and they didn't have to stream, but some people haven't logged in once into the server, and I'm gonna have a very stern talk with them. Because I have to turn down people to give those others the spot, because the server is only for 20 people. We've got a max limit of 20 people, and we've already capped that. So I did feel really bad, because some people asked if they could join, but I was like, I'm so sorry, but we've already got all spots filled. And we've got like 2 or 3 people that have not joined the server, like, ever. And it's already been over 2 weeks since the server started, so at this point there's like no excuse. So I'm gonna have to talk to them very, very sternly about their involvement in this server. And it makes me feel really, really bad because I feel like I'm pressuring people to play to something that they were invited to. And I did say that they could play in their own time and they will be chill, but you know that there is like a limit of how much like I can wait for people to actually join the collab, especially since the time frames we put were decided for very long ago. So it's not like I am just telling them the day off when we're gonna have meetings or anything. Those meeting dates were decided between all of us on January the 20th. So it's been a long time. Ooh, I think that the stock actually glows in the dark. So once it charges up, it will glow in the dark. This duck is weird. What are you, little duck? Oh, it's an expandable duck! So it's a tiny duck, and the longer it stays in water, it expands. So nice. I don't know much about the other ducks because the whole point of the game is that you keep them on running in the background and more ducks spawn. The more like you keep it open. So I know some of these ducks, but some of these ducks are completely new to me. So for example, there's this sparkly duck. Very sparkly, very beautiful. And I did see that a number appeared somewhere during one of like the duck areas, but I don't know what that was about. Oh, this duck is... It's a mouse duck! I get it now, it's a duck with a mouse. Oh, that's so cute. And I do know that some ducks just decide to like fly off everywhere. Of course, we've got This is a strawberry? I thought that it was a tomato. I thought that it was a tomato. I'm so sorry. I feel like I get so distracted talking that I forget to do the ASMR triggers. This is why you got everything your ASMR triggers. What is this? Guys, I'm so scared. Oh my god, wait. Is this a... Is this a coffee machine like duck? Well, not machine, but more like the container. You know, there are certain types of like coffee makers that are like this. Like a little thing. Are you that? Are you the fabled coffee duck? I can't believe this. And of course, you've got wood duck. I often just like to put the camera here so that way people are able to see all of the ducks. But I am glad that we also get to see so many cool ducks. Also, that duck is, like the regular duck, is going to be stuck on the flamingo forever. I cannot see a way for it to get back on regular land. Here, have a stream worm. I wish I could have more worms on a stream because I really love the aesthetic of them. But Frida loves eating those guys, and I don't want her to have digestive problems because she ate one too many. She chewed on one too many worms in a string. I do wonder if the ear shape, like the ear shape of the microphones does change the way that things sound. I just found this concept of a microphone to be very entertaining. It's just very funny and very difficult to explain to my parents who don't know I'm a VTuber. That's right, my parents don't know I'm a VTuber. It is a secret. Where's my keyboard? There it is. Oh, I really love this numpad. I think that I got it for my birthday actually. Somebody gifted it to me for my birthday. It was so nice. It's just that I love keyboards that sound like this. It is just so satisfying. The only problem is that they're not as satisfying when I have long nails. But when I do ASMR, I need to have long nails, or else you guys want to hear all my... Or baby puppies that I do. Or at least, if you do, they won't be as pronounced. Because they're actually not that easy to be heard. But they know you stream, right? Or do they think you're talking to friends? They think I am in business meetings with clients I do illustrations for. Which I mean is technically true. It is technically true. Some of you have commissioned me for illustrations. So it's not like I'm lying or anything. It is, yeah. So, you know, white lies never hurt anybody. They've never hurt anybody. And if they have, that's a lie. This is the warranty for the 3U thingy. I cannot cut this. What about this? No, this is sentimental. This is sentimental value. This is like a little award that they gave me in the Stonewall. Pride Club that I helped manage in university. They gave me an award for best style. Best fashion sense. I wonder which scissor sounds better. Which scissor sounds better? Or this one? Or do they sound the same? For the louder things like this, I try to keep them a little bit further away. That way you guys aren't like assaulted by the sound, by the peak. I hope it isn't too loud for you guys. You know, it is kind of weird to get ASMR stuff when you don't know what to look for at first. Because of course, I am a very big fan of trinkets, so the turtle soup thing I already had ready because I have my little Legos. And I have my little... Oh god, some of them fell. I have my little Legos and I have my little trinkets. Little beads, little marbles. But when it comes to other stuff, like for example the clickies and all that, I had to look for stuff that wouldn't be missed, basically. I try to be as resourceful as I can when I'm able to. Not only because of the economy, but because, you know, since my dad grew up poor, and he eventually became a hoarder because of the drama, I was sort of taught to never, like, throw everything out there. Like, try and find a use for everything. Though I am surprised that this ended up being the use for all of this. It's very funny to me. Ooh, this one's very different when I put it on a deep dish. I just fished something out. I do worry though. About the amount of sound I'm making. Because, well, my dad doesn't mind that I stay up for long, or not for long, but more like he doesn't mind that I stay up at night and make noise at night. But my mom is a very light sleeper and she has to go to sleep early. She's an early riser. And so she goes to sleep at like 8 or 9 p.m. And sometimes I end stream at like 12 a.m. sometimes 2 a.m. And it can be difficult because, of course, she has to go to work. She has a day job, and she also tries to go to my grandparents' house during the morning and during the afternoon. And she stays there until the cleaning lady that we hired, since my grandma can no longer clean by herself. She stays there until she arrives so that my grandma isn't alone with my grandpa. Because, guys, if one of them falls, they cannot help each other up. That is the thing with my grandparents. That if one of them falls down, the other one cannot help the other to get up. Because they're already pretty old. 84 and 89 actually. Oh my gosh. So it can be really difficult for them to stay by themselves as much as they'd like. What are you? Wait, what is this? Is this like a little whale? Oh, that's cute. It's a yin and yang dog. I see it. I see it. I love getting new ducks. And you are a duck that is stuck. Huh. Interesting, duck. We still haven't seen the mission's duck, though. The mission, do you want to choose another duck? It's okay if you want to choose another duck. Because the one that you chose isn't here yet. You can choose another duck, it's okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're pretty old. They're old, but we love them. And they lived very good lives. And we're trying to make their lives as comfortable as possible. That way. The busy duck, of course. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that was the duck. Look, it was like a growing duck. Oh my god, them big eyes duck. See, now you're there. Look at you. That one doesn't talk, it does like a little computer sound. That's so cute. Oh yeah, look, now you're here. Gorgeous. I'm gonna follow Duck the mission for a while. Let's follow Duck the mission for a while. Oh shit. Blanket versus a nostalgia critic? No, I think that the nostalgia critic would win because I am very sensitive, and if I perceive that somebody is shouting at me, I will cry. I will cry if the nostalgia critic gets angry at me. It will be sort of like a don't meet your hero situation where I'm like, oh my gosh, the nostalgia critic, I've watched all of your videos, and then it's like, why do you look like that, you stupid idiot? I mean in a fight, using both your lore. Oh yeah, then I definitely will mock him. You see, for I am an eldritch horror that cannot be comprehended by your feeble human minds. Therefore I win every single time. I really want to learn how to make those little ear cleaning thingies that are like just a cotton ball. I may just actually just get a cotton ball and stick it into like two ear cleaners. I mean, that counts, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. He goes insane in Christmas during December, and that terrifies me. But you see, I gained the same level of power during Halloween. So, if you think about it, if you finish in a fight during like November, which still isn't Christmas, but Halloween has already sort of started passing, you might get a very interesting battle, I think. Ooh. What is there, number 2? What does that mean? Guys, I don't know what the number 2 means. Oh, polka dot duck. That one's an old duck. I have seen that one already. What I want to know is why are there like 2? Is it like a multiplier? What are the ducks in the hot tub doing? That's where the mission duck is. The mission duck is just chilling with the other ducks in the hot tub. Oh my god, Frograve, thank you so much for the 5 biddies! For the 5 biddies. 500 biddies! Okay, first of all, what dog do you want? What dog do you want, Frograve? And second of all, what trigger do you want for 5 minutes? It is very important to me that you answer those questions. Red duck. Okay. The strawberry duck? This one? This is the reddest duck we have. There's also the jelly duck. The one over there. That one's also red adjacent. Yes, okay. No, my glasses and my arrow. Okay. Collection. Red duck. Ducks, please. Grave. 21. There you go. Now we've got 2 named ducks. As for triggers, what would be the trigger that you'd like? If you don't know, feel free to use the exclamation point ASMR command so that you can see all of the trigger lists that I have. And then we'll start the timer. live 2D models is that my PNG tuber, or well, it won't react when I'm not doing anything. So it won't react to sound, it will only react to my movements. So that's really nice. Welcome to Blanket Ghost. They haunted so you don't have to. So true. Didn't you know that I'm a ghost of a blanket variety? That is a part-time freelance illustrator, full-time haunting expert? So true. I really do love like classic plastic dog simulator for like just chatting streams and stuff. I feel like it is so soothing to watch the ducks float around. And we can switch around to different ducks with a different keyboard command so that we can switch to all of the different ducks. There's actually a duck that has a silly head. So true. I mean, you have never seen a nostalgia critic and me in the same room even. Could be onto something. That's right. Perchance, I am Mr. Dog Walker. I don't think that would make much sense. But also, we look so similar. We could be twins. Oh, I see. It's the sponge that gets all those. That puts all those crackles in the way. I'm gonna have to buy a new sponge, one that isn't black. Maybe I'll go to the dollar store and buy a cheap beauty blender. And then get myself another like cheap sponge, the one for dishwashing. Yeah, definitely not Dog Walker. I mean, Dog Walker is a pretty chill guy. Or at least he seems pretty chill from what I've seen from his regular reviews, not the nostalgia critic ones. You know, when we are playing D&D, I am currently on a small D&D campaign. That is the Impiety. That I'm playing with both my fellow mods, Chips and Freak. I actually really like doodling while we do the D&D campaign. I doodle my character, Castor, in like the different situations. And one time while we were doing the campaign, I didn't even have my mic on very loud, but Dave once DM'd me asking if I was doodling or writing something because he could hear the scratching of the paper while I was speaking. And honestly, I think that would be a very pleasing sound. Maybe once I get more confident with being on camera, I could do like an analog, or well, not analog, but a traditional art stream. I could put the 3D thingy so that you can hear all of the sounds of the pencil scratching. For example, I just switched from a 3B pencil to an H pencil, and the H pencils actually have more of like the waxy medium than the graphite, so they sound more rough. Back when I was younger, I used to love 2H pencils. I used to love how light they were, so I used them a lot for sketching because I was still very, very unsure. But the thing that I didn't notice is that actually, 2H pencils are more difficult to erase. Not because they're light or anything, but because they leave very visible grooves on the paper because you have to apply more pressure to them. So in fact, sometimes B pencils, B type pencils, are actually far easier to control or far better for sketches. I thought that was very interesting. I'm still working on Snow Miku promo stuff. On the down low while I work on commissions, because even though I'm very excited about Snow Miku and I know that I have to promo her so that people notice her, I don't really want to make my commissioners wait a ton, especially since my drawing speed has slowed down tremendously for some reason. It is now taking me way longer to complete a piece than it used to a year ago, or maybe even 6 months ago. So I really need to get in on that. That is something that I really need to start paying attention to. I also don't want to give the illusion that I'm just working on personal art while I still have outstanding commissions. Because of course, if I were to post all of my doodles, all the doodles that I do, people would just think that I'm like completely ignoring my commissions. Rather than working on them. And I'm just focusing on my own personal art because that's what I want to draw. But in reality, the doodles that I usually post, there are things that I do when I cannot physically be in my computer, or when I am doing work, like aside from my computer. So I have my little notepad on the side while I work maybe on scheduling, or on other things. And then, while I work on that stuff, I then go on over and sort of like write stuff on my notepad. For example, when I'm in Japanese classes, I usually take a little, like, very tiny notebook with me. And when I finish, or if I finish any assignment early, I just take up that little notepad and I start doodling stuff, like drawing ideas or other things. And then once I'm done, I can transfer them onto like digital or something, or take pictures. Because sometimes I don't even complete the doodles, then I want to end up doing, oh my god, it's a disco duck. It's got its own music and everything. And of course, we've got the poor stone dog that's sunken in the ground. It's so sad. I feel so sad for the stone dog. Maybe Hugo looks like someone else. Oh, really? This Hugo illustration, this little gif, was actually made by a friend of the channel, Lai Shindo, or Eivor Love Letter. He made both the Hugo gifs, and he is also working on the alerts for Kids' new model reveal. He actually is going to make the alert for his review. He already has a playlist for his next little guy animations. But unfortunately, I think that I spent so long being nervous and having second thoughts about commissioning a Valentine's Hugo design for like the little guy gifts that I completely missed my window, because he is booked and busy. Every single time he opens little guy animation commissions, which is a little sticky, they get filled the very next day, or sometimes the same day. So I don't even have the time to consider if I fan commission or not. And that's so sad because I love his art. Once I ever get like the money or something, I would love for him to design an outfit for Hugo. It's one of my favorite things to do, like design funny little outfits for Hugo. And that's the thing, I love it when people treat their characters like fashion dolls and create little outfits or commission people to make new outfits for them. It's so cool. I don't know who that is, but please, I know that this is not something you know, but please do not compare Hugo to, like, anybody else. I do have something with VTubers that we do a lot of, we are sensitive about. We work so hard on making our designs unique and appealing, and of course, they are very personal to us, so when somebody says something like, oh, you look like so-and-so, it does make us feel bad, because we work hard on being recognizable as ourselves. Of course, I know that Hugo's more like a gag character, but Hugo was actually a very, very old rendition of my persona. Their design is older than actual Blanket Ghost, because Hugo has been a persona that has evolved and has been with me since I was about 11 years old, actually. So, this is a 13-year-old, sort of like character, or character design, that has evolved throughout the years, and so they are so personal to me. And when I started getting into VTubing, one of the things that I was most nervous about is that I would be compared to another very popular, very popular, white-haired ghost VTuber that had a similar, set of hairstyle like me. And that scared me a lot because, the sign drama can be so petty. But of course, it's always something that is on the back of your mind. That was actually the reason why I decided not to debut Hugo formally as a model or as like a character. I decided to just make it more like a gag. And instead use my little ghosty as my main model, as my main design. Because I just knew that if I were to do too much with it, I might get targeted by some unsavory individuals. Of course, this isn't to do. I don't have anything against that certain ghost VTuber. I have only seen a couple of videos of her, and while I am subscribed to her, I try not to watch at them because I don't want to get influenced. But she seems like a very chill person and not somebody who would get into petty drama like that. But with people that are as big as she is, you can't help but be a little bit scared, you know? I guess you could say it is something like instinctual, because at one point it can be difficult to control your own audience. So if I stretch my logic, Hugo is OG Blanketer Ghost. You could say that. Yeah. I think that the thing about Hugo is that they were made at a time in which a lot of people had human like personas. They had like their own little human persona, and there were all of these rules and all of these things, and oh, you gotta make your persona like this, like this, like this. And I was not still yet out as a non-binary person, so I felt like I had to follow these very strict rules of like this specific type of anime girl. I'm trying to like keep it realistic enough to me, because I didn't want to get into like the drama of like, oh, you draw your persona perfect so you're conceited and stuff, or you draw them too ugly. And anyways, there was a lot of petty drama. So when I made Hugo for the first time, I guess I still felt like I had to perform in some way, and sort of like very disillusioned of like the regular, very common regular anime girl artist persona kind of thing. Instead of actually creating a proper representation of myself. Wait, no! Oh my gosh! The slide has been blocked. No! And well, of course, after I started to like experiment with my gender identity, Hugo's design also slowly started to change, and it came to a point in which I didn't really feel comfortable expressing myself or showing myself as a girl or as like a femme presenting person, because that is not how I feel inside. That is not how I. If I had the power to change myself to look at as whatever I want, that is not what I'd like to look like. Of course, there are some times in which Hugo is like appealing to me, because of course I created them. They are drawn in a way that I find appealing and that I like, and that also manages to represent myself without being like too overt, while still being able to say like, yeah, that I guess that's a version of me. But if I were to really like choose in between my little ghost and Hugo, I think that my little blanket ghost is how I feel inside. It's what I would like to look like. Just a little blob, a little thing that you don't need to take too seriously. Or more or less like I don't take myself too seriously. And that is also like very, very gender neutral, without having to like constrict yourself to a certain style. Because here's the thing with like being like androgynous, is that it can be very constricting to try to like make yourself look androgynous, because it usually only restricts yourself to like a certain kind of style, a certain kind of thing. And that is not something that I really want to do. I don't want to be defined by the clothes I wear or what gender I present as. I don't think that's me, and I don't like performing as either or. So, I'm a little ghost. And that's it. Okay, it's going to be midnight. I did want this stream to be a little bit shorter, just 2 hours, so that I'd be able to make sure to test out, to have everything good. And to be sure that my microphone is working correctly and that it's not going to die. So I don't want to overdo it. But thank you guys so much for coming. I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, let's see how we can read out for today, I think. Thank you. Also, Hybrid, I'm so sorry that I didn't notice you resubscribed. Thank you so much. Let's see. Are any of my friends still online? We're online right now. Oh my gosh. We've got Desync, we've got Jin, we've got Packet, we've got Maple, we've got Sarah, and we've got DJ Pararoid. I haven't rated out to DJ in a very, very long time. Also, they're Australian, so they're from the down low where Freaky is from. So yeah, I think that I'm gonna rate out to DJ Pararoid. This is our raid message and our raid message for subs. Also, if you haven't, please check out my Snow Miku entry. I worked really hard on it, and I'm really hoping that it gets some more traction. If you want to follow me on my social media or just look at all of my art, you can contact me on all of the social media over here. I am Blanket Ghost on all social media, except for my YouTube, in which I am the Blanket Ghost. I have 2 channels. The Blanket Ghost is for regular videos, and for speed paints and stream highlights and all that kind of stuff. And Monker Bots is my bot channel where I put all of the bots that I've gotten. And so if you've missed the Twitch bot, you can go check them out on that YouTube channel. I also have commissions open. This is my main form of income, so if you're able to commission something from me, I'll be very, very grateful. If not, that is okay. Don't worry about it. As always, art is a luxury, which please be sure to spend within your means. My shop is not open yet, but I do have a throne and I do have an Amazon wish list if you wish to check that out. Why is that mini duck sinking? That's so sad. Wait. Mini duck. Oh no. Okay, it's not sinking. Good. But yeah, that's it. DJ Pyroid right now is playing the new game Eugenics, which I really wanna play. I really wanna play right now. So, I'll see you guys there. I hope that you enjoy the ASMR, even though it was pretty short, and it may not have been super good because again, I am sort of fixing some stuff because my mic just didn't want to work before. But yeah, I hope that you guys have a nice evening, afternoon, morning, night, and I'll see you guys Friday. Yippee. Yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. I don't know what I'll do because I forgot to make the schedule for this week. But it's okay. It's okay. It'll be our little secret. It'll be a surprise. Yeah. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.